Hey everybody, Saturday. Uh, Today is going to be a doozy. Um, Yesterday, my eBay business took a hit, and it was, to reflect on it, it's a great life lesson. Today is not going to be tips, I don't think, about anything you do to actionable on eBay, but it's something to think about. And it's a lot of reasons that people start reselling or thinking about getting into reselling or even sustain the business of reselling. I've been fortunate enough to have an arrangement that I sustained for several years. But that's how life goes. Just like that, you stumble, you got to keep walking. So anyway, I had a relationship with a vendor, and I've been getting things for almost free. A lot of stuff just free. It's been a great, golly, I gotta get off this path. I'm gonna kill myself. So it's been a great arrangement, and I couldn't ask for more. I mean, for the situation that I was in financially and where I was in my life, it fit perfectly. I couldn't have, I mean, I arranged it just as it was. It was a lot of hard work. It wasn't like something fell in my lap by any means. So anyway, I had that relationship, and it's been going great. But I've noticed over the past couple of weeks, the number of items that I've been able to source has diminished. And there have been weird things. I tend to do a lot of my business online, like I source online. And sometimes you have glitches, and I work in computer development and stuff like that, so I know what's what when the internet starts acting wonky. And it just started, I don't know, it just gave me a weird feeling. Nobody said anything, nobody did anything. And I even talked about this in the last, I think yesterday, as a matter of fact. I've been trying to expand. I was like, in case something happens, nothing in life is ever 100%, especially when you're putting your eggs in other people's basket like that. You're always vulnerable. Somebody else is in control. And so it might be a great organization, it might be a great person, so you think, but things change. And so I wanted to prepare for that. My grandfather, always very wise man and very successful, told me that the best things in life to have always are options. Not how he said it, but that's what he was getting at. You always want options. And amen, brother, because I have been out of options, and it's no fun. In fact, that's the reason I got into reselling. I was out of options. I moved, and I'm going to make that another part of the video. I'm going to leave for my little girl. I got a 9-year-old daughter. I haven't seen, last time I saw her, I was clean shaven. And so that's another story. But I'm going to start focusing on her. I'm going to start making little videos like this, going back, so that if something happens to me, she will know what happened to kill me off. Her mom has killed and my entire family off. Nobody has seen or heard from my daughter in 3 years for me, 5 years for everybody else, 5+ years. She's about to turn 10. Anyway, it's a tragic story. So I got to Florence, where I'm from, here to help my dad. I thought he insinuated, be careful of insinuations, because they're often lies, that he needed help and was failing physically, and he was going to have to go to the doctor for this, that, and the other. So I dropped everything, came down here to help him. Little did I know, he's fine physically. He's got all sorts of machinery and stuff keeping him alive, pacemakers, watchmen. He's got doctors pumping him full of meds. So all he does is lay around. He's fine physically. It's mentally, he's gone. I got here, and a month after I did, demented people do this. They'll hold a curtain up around themselves, say like this. And once they start getting tired, it drops, and it drops. And after about a month, he acted normal towards me in every way for him. And boy, he just let that curtain drop. And I got to get out of here. And I didn't have any money. First thing he did was tell me he'd pay for a hospital bill if I went to the ER to get my blood pressure taken care of. And I was like, that's silly, but he's not right in the head. It's his money. My blood pressure has been absolutely high for too long now. That's another story. So I was like, shoot, yeah, let's go. So he drops me off at the trauma center, runs up a $5,000 bill. Didn't do anything. They just told me I had high blood pressure and released me. And so now, boop, here's a $5,000 bill. You pay for it. So that's what I've been working on, taking care of that before I even get anywhere. But I got to get out of the house. I got to move. So I've been saving money for that. And I was like, how do I do this? So I started that reselling business. A house that he's in is like a museum from 1984. Nothing has been touched. And so it is just like a retro collector's dream. I only wish the stuff that I had when I was growing up there was still there. Somebody stole it, or he gave it away, or threw it away, or something. There's a lot of valuable stuff. An entire Commodore 64 ecosystem, not just the keyboard and a monitor, the modem, the printer, the hard drive, the tape deck. I don't even know it all. I had it all. I was spoiled. And it's gone. So I started looking around the house, and I was like, man, people love this kind of stuff. So I started posting on eBay. I was like, man, I'll start using my contact, get stuff from him. So I've been sourcing from my contact now for years, not just for eBay. I've been using him for personal stuff because when I was up in Louisville, there were things I needed. I was like, there's no reason to pay for this. I pay him taxes, but that's it. So it's been a great deal. And before some people go, oh my gosh, you're just exploiting it or whatever. You need to walk a mile in my shoes before you start talking about that. I don't talk about that too much. Nobody wants to hear complaining and all that. But so that's what it is. And that's been going on. I started this thing about 3 months ago, and in that time, man, it's gone gangbusters. I made a good bit of money, enough to not be stressed out. I'm out here walking right now. I just dropped off 2 packages that I listed and that sold, so I got a couple $100 coming to me for really doing nothing. And so it goes. But up until, I started looking around local thrift stores, because I was like, I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket, because you never know what's going to happen. If you can guarantee on one thing in life besides death, it's change. And to become complacent is not smart in any aspect of life, but especially when you're talking about yourself and you're responsible for other people like I am. You can't become complacent. So anyway, I was just getting these weird vibes, and not from anybody. It was just a feeling I had. Nobody said anything, nobody did anything. There was no reason. But I was like, man, I got to start finding some other stuff to source. You just never know when this is going to drop. And I noticed that it was already the number of items had dropped by half what they were not just recently. I can't give a date. Last summer, especially, because I remember telling my dad how many items there were. I was sending him items that I thought he needed. And I got down here, I sent him tens of thousands of dollars worth of things. I got down here and he hadn't even opened them. There's boxes still sealed, packed up here and there. It's been piles everywhere. I was like, I even told him, I was like, if you don't need this stuff or don't want it, tell me, because it takes me a lot of time to source this. It costs money, it costs somebody money, and it's just a waste. And he didn't bother. So that's what I'm up against. So I sent my manager to salvage some of it and sold it on eBay for like 50% off, and just to get some money back. But so I checked in yesterday to do some sourcing. I had some packages arrive yesterday, and I went to a thieves market and a thrift store kind of downtown, and I wasn't very impressed with either. We've got 2 thrift stores here. Well, we've got a lot here, but those 2 that I went to, and the thieves market, it is what it is. But what I'm finding out about a lot of these thrift stores, they don't get a lot of new stuff all the time like you would in an urban setting. We're just in Florence, South Carolina. It's not a big place. It's not a wealthy place. I mean, there's just not a lot going on here. It's low profile. It's a nice, quaint, quiet little place. No crime to speak of compared to Louisville, where I just came from, especially. So it's not bad. But so I checked in yesterday, got home from walking or whatever, and my account's closed. And you can't argue with this stuff. I mean, it's like arguing with any company. I've got something going on with UPS right now that has been festering since the beginning of March. They lost a package March 10th, and it says even in tracking that is lost. And I filed a claim, and they will not pay. They are just putting their hand up, talk to the hand, and that's even after I got in touch with them, and it's just been a nightmare. I can't believe it, man. I was a claims adjuster for 4 years. It's one of the first jobs I had out of college. It's an awful job, really stressful. You get yelled at a lot, and I dealt with a lot of attorneys. It was valuable in that respect. I learned how to negotiate, and I learned how to not take crap from liars at an early age. The thing that stuck, that some people are too gifted. So anyway, I would have been fired on the spot if I'd handled this claim like they are, and that's obviously their policy. It's not these frontline employees, especially the ones I originally called a call center in India, where you can't even understand the damn thing they're saying. I have the preferred number at home. I posted it here on Substack if you want that. I don't have it on me, but if you dial that number, it's the preferred number for UPS. You'll bypass all the BS. Use that judiciously, please, because I got that from them. It's not online or anything. Companies, I work for Amazon, and I'm out applying for jobs, and companies are like, well, what's the phone number of your last employer so we can call them? You can't even find the phone number online for the building I worked in. They don't want anybody contacting anybody there for anything. It's just crazy. And so that's what they do. Things have changed for sure since I was a child. So back to the crisis, or what originally was a crisis. It wasn't even really a crisis, because like I said, I almost sensed it coming. And that's what happened. They shut down that arm of inflow of products, high quality products, new products, that I probably have gotten. I know I've gotten over $30,000 worth of things from them this year. I think I got over 50,000 last year, and gone. So can't let that freak you out. It's part of life. It's part of what makes life happen. And I saw it coming on the writing on the wall somehow. I didn't know there was no writing. And what I think is this: I'm using it as to first figure out. I know I'm not gonna like retire with what I'm doing on eBay. That's crazy. I had goals. I set lofty goals. I've been achieving them, but I had some pretty lofty goals there. But things had to stay where they were. I needed to still be bringing in average items. Average value of the item that I was selling was over $100. So a couple of sales a day, and it's a couple $100 in the bank. And that can't last forever. I mean, that's just crazy. So it didn't. And so what do? Well, I can start sourcing elsewhere. And I looked at these thrift stores, and what I'm finding so far, I haven't been to all of them, so I don't want to talk about ones I haven't been to, but like the Thieves Market, which is huge. I really wanted to video in there, but I thought they might get a little weird about that. I talked to the owner when I was leaving for a long time, so he'd probably be cool with it now. But if I go back, the thing is, most of these places around here, I feel like I'm scavenging. I always preach, sell high quality goods, but I'm not seeing anything. I mean, I'm looking around in there for anything that I think someone might buy. I've got a pretty good eye now for what moves, what sells, what people are looking for. I was researching, using all my tools and everything. Man, I was not fun. They must have had several million things in that Thieves Market, and there's not a damn thing in there that anybody would buy. It's all junk. And the thing is, and then they mark it up, like, you see these astronomical prices. That's why it's not moving in there. They can't sell the stuff because it's overpriced. I don't know why they would do that, but it's like a little eBay store. It's a Thieves Market's like they have vendors and they set up little booths, like antique booth type store. So anyway, and that's what I found at the other thrift store too, was it was just crap. It's like tchotchkes and, you know, even the interesting things that I think people might buy, the retro or, you know, the old stuff. I found an old pair of eyeglasses that are killer. You could have new lenses put in them, and they're not the cheap wire rims. They're a lot more, a lot nicer. But they were asking something ridiculous, $120 for them. Yeah, right. Things like that. So, you know, I think about my time. I always preach your time is your most valuable asset. And I don't think I'm getting a return on my time doing that. And I certainly would not be able to sell items for over $100 a pop. The things that they have for over $100 in these stores that I'm seeing are like bed frames, just stuff, gumball machines. I mean, things that you would never buy to sell on eBay. So I hate to I'm not going to close up shop, because that's the great thing too. I've got about $15,000 in inventory right now. So even if I liquidate it all and just, I say, I'm out, I'm gone, I'm moving out of my dad's house, which is what I'm doing, and I'm actually thinking about this. If I liquidate everything I have, even sell it for 50%. Of course, eBay, I'm where eBay takes about 40%. I work that down. It used to be about 50-50, and I work that down to about 40%, which is huge as your income, your revenue increases. Every little bit of margin is important. So I'm pretty happy about that. I got my store just cranking, man. It's like running like Shanghai right now. So I hated to shut it down. It almost sounds like quitter talk. I'm no quitter. So it'll be up for a long while, forever. I mean, I've been on it since 2000. It's not like I'm shutting it down. If you got an eBay, I'm sure you've seen all these eBay videos. All these guys like, I'm leaving my store. eBay sucks. It's over with. I'm done. 6-figure eBay seller, gone forever. Watch my video, and I'm now a YouTuber. You know, I don't know what their stories are. Everybody's got their own story. This is mine. So I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to keep selling what I have. Even if I sell what I have right now at 50%, let's say, I wouldn't drop it to 50%. That's silly. I don't have any weight on me right now or any pressure to just unload this stuff. So that's good too. And I'm also going through all my listings one by one and updating them. I see all sorts of stuff that I know better about doing now that is still on listings that I had no idea. You know, 200 is not like a lot compared to, well, actually I think I got 195 now, but compared to some people. But for one person to be managing that kind of items and what I'm doing, you know, it's a system. It's an operation. So, and things are still selling daily. So that might be what I do, is just keep selling things as I can until it just gets down to where I just have to liquidate it and all. And I'm hoarding money, I guess. I mean, that's why I'm money hungry right now, which is why I got into eBay reselling. And but when I moved here to Florence, I have an MBA and an English degree, and I've got a lot of experience, and I've got so much experience under my belt by this age. And I moved down here, and they're opening a couple of plants near here. Well, they opened one, QDC, which everybody's heard of, the place that you order online and they send you stuff. There's one like down the road from us, and they're also building this AESC, which is this $2.5 billion with a B dollar battery plant, not even a mile from my house. It's insane, because I live out in the middle of nowhere. So they're hiring people right and left. The state's involved with it because it's such a big investment, such a big deal. And so I've been applying like crazy for jobs there. I mean, I work for Amazon. I was in the top 5% of productivity there. And I haven't even gotten a call back, man. I was just getting so frustrated with it all. I was like, golly. So that's another thing that's in the back of my head. You know, I'm employable. Nobody's hiring me. I don't know. And, you know, I try to look at everything I can to fix it. I ask employers when I can. You know, when I used to get rejections and I would look for jobs, you know, I'd be like, you know, well, that's fine, but, you know, why is it, so I can fix that for the next person? They won't tell you. It's too much of a liability. So that's no good. You see on LinkedIn, which is kind of a joke these days, But you always see on LinkedIn, they tell you to ask the employer what the reason for not being hired is. Like they're really going to tell you. These people are supposed to be HR experts. I'm not going to tell you anything. So I found out my resume. I was thinking, there's no reason these people would not be hiring me, not even calling me. The only thing standing between us is that resume. That's the only thing that they've seen of mine. And that's the only reason that they chose not to call me back, is that they saw that resume. So it must be the resume. So I pull that thing up, and sure enough, it was a piece of junk. I've been saving resumes and making them off of LinkedIn and editing them and saving them for so many years that it's turned into a mishmash. Not to mention, years ago, I ended up with over a 4-page resume, because AI is all doing all the selection these days, and they're just looking for keywords. They're not looking, don't care about length. And even telling people to keep it at 1 page, that's laziness on the recruiter's part. They're like saying, don't tell me about yourself, because I just don't have the time to hear about it, even though my job is to hire you based on hearing about you. I don't like that. So I did, there's my earbud. So I did manage to fix the my resume, I'm happy to say. And I've posted it back on some positions that I had applied for, but were still available. We put a new application in, which is like an hour per application, because they make you write everything, single thing in before they reject you. It's nonsense. Seems like they'd have you do that after maybe the interview, instead of requiring everybody to spend an hour just to keep your junk on file. But whatever, it's all about them. They're holding the money, and they know it. So my aunt, I was asking, my dad's no help. He hasn't moved here since the 70s. He doesn't know a single person in the state. He knows one person in Columbia, and that guy can't help. Even if he could, my dad is gone. So I'm starting to lose my train of thought, which I guess is good. That means I'm out of thought. So that's where I am. I'm trying to think about what to do with this business. It's going to be open. I'm still going to be selling what I have there. I've got $15,000 just sitting in inventory waiting for people to buy. Great stuff. So I might figure out how to get my hands on that, liquidate it, get my hands on money. I need to move out of my house. That's my goal number one, is move out of my house I'm in right now, but that's going to take some financing. I'm not going to get my dad to co-sign on a lease or anything. He wouldn't do it anyway. And I need constant employment, gainful employment, to rent a place, or at least a year or two's worth of rent in the bank. If you don't have a job, people won't do that. So, and I also feel like I'm going to have to be buying a car soon too, if that's not enough. So I've got it piling up. So I've got to act fast. And maybe that's what I was getting at, and what I should end this on. I felt that something was about to happen with my source, and it did. And I actually think, and I've been restless anyway where I am. Some days I feel so good about eBay and where it's heading. I'm like, if I really double down on this and keep my nose to the grindstone, I might be able to pull in 6 figures in a year or two, the way things were going. And so I would get complacent, and complacency is a bad thing. And so I'd give, and especially as many rejections as I was getting from companies for positions that I know I'm qualified for. I mean, there's just no way. So that's just another slap in the face. That was getting me down. So I managed to fix that, though. I'm already getting some traction. I've got somebody, a marketing firm, that's already checking me out. So whatever I did is working. I like to be able to say that. But I think it's God telling me, you need to get off your ass, go out there and get a job. Don't be farting around here on eBay anymore. Got a few $1,000s in the bank. You're not gonna starve. And I'm not stressing like I was. I finally have gotten that medical bill under control. Thank God. That took forever. So things are back on track now as far as I go. Even though I took probably the biggest hit I could have yesterday, not financially, but business-wise. You know, you got to be able to pivot and adapt. And if anything, I'm able to do that. So that's where I am. I thought I would share that. Hopefully it inspires some of y'all, maybe gives you ideas to diversify. You know, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I was unfortunately in a situation where I had to, and it worked out for me, but I do not recommend it. If you're gonna start eBaying, selling on an eBay, first 100 go gangbusters, but after that, quality, take your time. You know, you got your feet wet and learn. You know, watch these videos of mine. I share a lot of good tips I learned from others and things I learned in real life as they happen. And life has a way of throwing curveballs when you least expect it, so just be prepared. And you'll even see the guys that do this thing full time, they even get in and they start getting other revenue streams. They get on YouTube and make these kind of videos to help people. They're a lot better than mine, I assure you, at least better produced. And they also have all found some friend to help code a little app for to keep track of your business affairs. Started to do that right when those guys were doing it, so I'm glad I didn't. I think one of them is geared for Australia, ebay.com.au. I don't know if that makes any difference. Flipwise, and I don't remember what the other one was called, but anyway, they just came out with them like right when I was starting to look at the APIs on eBay and seeing what I could do. They're not doing anything special. They're just pulling from APIs and presenting it in a different format, in their own unique format. And anybody can do that. I had one other thing too. I'll end this, I promise. We're running up on half an hour, good God. Finishing up with the guy that that bought something on the auction and then didn't pay for it and wouldn't communicate, and I relisted it, and then he bought it again immediately and I couldn't find it. I tore the house apart. I was going crazy. You have no idea, trying to find this package of his, and I thought it was lost. I'm still not 100% sure about this, but I'm thinking I was following the tracking on it and it looks like it was shipped. Now, I have the shipping label sitting in my inventory, and I'm prone to mistakes. I always look, if there's a problem, it's usually my fault. I'm humble enough to admit that, because you can find a solution. If you'll admit that you're wrong, instead of saying, oh no, it wasn't me, or making up bullshit, you can get to a solution and grow and progress that much faster. Just remember that. So, and I am definitely an idiot. I do things there all the time that are just space case. So I just got too much in my mind right now. I have to make myself lists. They're perfect. Google Keep. I make check boxes on there, what I have to do all day, and it is a great system. List. Love lists. That should go into your eBay quiver as lists. So anyway, the guy we're rolling up on, I got about a minute and a half here. I can't find anything anywhere. You know, I even made a video about this yesterday. It was like part 2 of the guy I want to slap. And I started to send the guy a message via phone when I finished walking. I was like, nah, I don't want to be all fumble thumbs and mess something up. This is too important. So I'll wait till I get home and do it via computer. And so that's when I got home and was digging around again, because it just does not make any, was not adding up. And finally, I never sent him a message. I was like, I want to check that tracker one last time, and I looked, and it says it's on its way up there. So I don't know if I printed a label and stuck it on there before he paid. I can't imagine how I did that. And somehow it got out the door and is on its way to him. That's what it looks like. I don't know how, I don't know when, because none of it adds up. But hey, if it doesn't bite me in the butt and he's happy, everybody's happy. So that's that. I just got a text from a friend, and I'll end this. So that's that. I'll probably keep making videos, let you know how things are going, and with the eBay store. But that's how things are going with me and my eBay business. Just be prepared and diversify. Bye.